Hello. Okay, today is a little different. We are going to be working on what is fiction and nonfiction, and then we're going to review our PH sounds in our words. Okay? So, we are going to talk about what is fiction and nonfiction in text, so books. We're going to read what fiction is. Fiction is a made-up story or an imaginary story. So, like with monsters or mermaids or The Princess and the Pea, those are all fiction stories. And then we have nonfiction stories, and those stories are stories that are true and really happened. That could be a little boy, a story about you, or a story about me, or it could be a story about nature, or a story about science. Those are nonfiction stories, and those are true stories. Now, elements of these stories, a nonfiction story, fiction. Let's start with fiction, shall we? Fiction books are made up of characters and settings and plots that have been created by the author's imagination, whereas a fiction story has facts and information about real life things. Okay? So for example, a fiction story is fairy tales and tall tales and Greek myths, and nonfiction is about ancient Greek civilizations, the U.S. Civil War, nature, cycles in nature, and insects, things that we learned about this year in our knowledge domains. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the different kinds of nonfiction books and texts that we have out there. We have history, and what's history? History is a recording of things that happened in the past. See how we have Abe Lincoln here? History is something that's happened in the past. We have biographies. Biographies are another genre of nonfiction, and it's like a history book, but it tells about the past, and it focuses on a person's life. That's what a biography does. Science, we know what science books are, right? They tell us about all the wonderful scientific things like rocks and earth and moon. That's a science. Now we have an atlas. An atlas is called a reference book. It's a special kind of nonfiction book. An atlas is like a map. Atlases are maps. Then we have another nonfiction text is a newspaper, okay? And that has articles about what's happening every single day, okay? Then we have magazines. And magazines are magazines that print news and other nonfiction content. And then we have the websites that are on the computers. All right, that is nonfiction and fiction. Now, we're going to go over our words. We have trophy, pharmacy, alphabet, photo, graph, dolphin, autograph, and Philip. Those are our words that have the PH in them, which has the F sound. Don't forget that. This is very important to remember. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.